Hey guys, it's been a super long time since I made a video, but it's long overdue and I'm gonna start making videos again or something. But this video is going to be about uh, humans' perception of God or gods, whichever you prefer over history. And I want to give you a scenario, and here it is. There's three ants, and they're just they're hanging out around their little hole into their nest, and they're just talking, taking a break from work. And one ant looks at the other ones and he says, guys, I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I think the creator ant, the god ant, makes his homes out of really fine gravel. To this, the second ant says, "Well, whoa, hold on a second. I've been doing some thinking, and I think that the god ant makes his homes out of fine soil." And then they start arguing, and then the third ant steps in and says, "Guys, relax, okay? Because it's been revealed to me that the creator god ant makes his home out of both fine gravel and fine soil, so we have nothing to argue about." And I use this little thought experiment to demonstrate the futility of humans trying to think about the characteristics of God. and as you can see from that demonstration, when a being tries to anthropomorphize their god, it always ends up being something like them, which is always wrong if it's a god which created everything. But the main point is that the very questions you might ask about God will necessarily be framed within the kind of species of animal you are. And so ants, for example, would ask their god, what kind of materials do you build your home with? How far away from your nest do you search when you go for food? Which kinds of things does God like in terms of like feeding the queen ant or the worker ants? And so even we as humans, co-inhabitants of planet Earth, know that this is a silly task for ants to do if they had the capability to think about theological matters, because the activities of ants aren't exactly universal. They don't extend beyond ants into the deep metaphysics of the universe, like humans suspect our theology does. And so this is what I think about when I hear people trying to explain their faiths or explain what God's will is, or sort of like reach that level of understanding God in some way. And to me, it sounds like that. It sounds like ants being, like choosing the kind of material God builds his mound around his nest with. Like it's like asking, which sex positions does God prefer? Which foods does God think that we should eat? It's so desperately distanced from any sort of perspective of any realistic reality that you end up like anthropomorphizing God out of his throne. You take him from somewhere where he's the ultimate creator of the universe with incomprehensible nature and power and knowledge and scale, and you put him into something that is like anthropomorphized to great apes. Like which kind of sex does God approve of? Or yes, God created the universe 6,000 years ago, because that's the oldest human record. Like just beyond human memories when God created the earth. No, it's not that simple. It's never going to be if you're going to believe in a being that is transcendent beyond any sense of the word, because you're just going to be wrong. It's not going to be like you think it is, because you literally can't think about what God even could be, let alone actually is. So that's my rant about perceptions of God, because I see it so much nowadays. People are saying God hates gay people, or God loves the sinner but hates the sin. these descriptions of God are so small that it's silly to me after a while to hear that, God doesn't want us to eat pork, or God thinks that we should go in a building on Sunday. Um, it's just silly after a while, and so that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. So if there are Christians watching, I encourage you to tell me what your descriptions of God are, because I only really see these small kind of humanized anthropomorphic gods, which frankly fall short of even the most minuscule imaginative power of what a great being could be. So I do know of some people who have imagined beautiful Abrahamic gods, and they're Christians, but that doesn't seem to be the generally accepted view by a lot of fundamentally religious people. But yeah, just let me know what your perceptions of a God would be, and if you're atheist, let me know what a God would look like to you, because I realized something once I became an atheist, that when I looked back at what I would imagine a God to be, I saw something far more magnificent than anything I'd ever thought about while I was religious. And it's incomprehensible in nature, but I'm just sort of wondering what you guys think about God as atheists, if you were to actually think about what a God would look like at this point in your understanding of the universe. So yeah, just throw things at me, and it's good to be back. See you guys soon.